Are you feeling like somebody is not prioritizing you and you feel like you're giving them a lot of attention and it's not coming back your way? Actually, it's impacting you mentally, emotionally, and maybe your confidence about yourself a little bit. Well, today I'm going to talk about this and what you can do about this. And if you stay until the end, I have an extra point for you then as well. Now, I was thinking about this in my own life and even like recent conversations. There are some people in my life, I put like a lot of attention to. I don't just mean the dating scene in the past. I learned from that over the years, but with friends and family as well, and work situations and business situations. When I feel like I put a lot in terms of effort towards someone, and I feel like I'm being ignored or not getting the attention back, and that only leads to stress, frustration, anger, right? Instead of realizing that the right people would actually prioritize me. And actually, if I'm honest, I don't prioritize everyone else, right? I can't, right? I can't prioritize every human being on the planet. I'm just being honest. Doesn't make me a bad person if someone's giving me a lot of attention. I try and be transparent with them, of course, right? Yeah, there's only going to be certain people I'm going to pay, so much attention to because we've got a limited resource. And where I see this working against people is when they feel like they've got to give everything to everyone. And it's just exhausting. It's just going to burn you out. And likewise, like we're talking around the other way, when you feel like you're putting a lot into someone, but they're not paying it back, it does not make them necessarily a bad person, right? Now, it could be that just, there may be slightly narcissistic behavior or nasty behavior in there. Yeah, could that be going on? It doesn't mean it though. It just means they got their own priorities. And that's certainly what I've experienced in my life. You cannot prioritize everyone. Even recently, I've, had people like being like sending me a load of messages, and it doesn't make me a bad person, but they are just not a priority in my life. I'm sorry, but like, if my mum messages me and my mum's upset, my mum is getting my 100% attention. If my sister's upset, she is getting my 100% attention. If my dad is, or he wants to share something with me, he's always a priority. I've told my family that, right? And there's certain people who I'm always going to make time for in terms of, particularly in like my men's group and things like that as well. Yeah, that's a lesson I've had to learn because it used to frustrate me, particularly when it's like, well, I put a lot of effort into them. I can particularly think of like past dating relationship situations. Like, I feel like I'm giving them a lot of attention, giving her a lot of attention. And it's like, I'm not getting it back. And it wasn't the right match. And this can be very hard to come to grips with. So that's why I wanted to share it today, really, because it's a really, really important one. So how does it help you when you're just like prioritizing someone and you're not getting the attention back? Well, if you're anything like me, it just did not feel good and it can be really, really frustrating. So I wanted to go through a few points on this. I'm just charging my laptop as I'm talking to you because I was running out of battery then. And I don't want to end this podcast. Anyway, technical issues aside, let's get back on track. So this is what I'm going to suggest in terms of how you really start focusing on what you want in life and who you want in your life, right? The first one is asking yourself, what do you want in your life? Not like who do you want, but like, what do you want? Like, do you want a life where you've got a lot of freedom, maybe financial freedom, or you're doing a certain type of career, you're going to be a certain like health, get as specific as you can, right? Because then it comes on to the people in your life. The second, because I found personally, I've been unconscious of this a lot of times. Like I'd be hanging out with people who were not so focused on exercise. And actually that made me quite lazy as well. But when I started focusing on, I want to do more exercise, I started going to the gym more. I started going to gym classes, hang out with people who would keep me fitter, right? The second one, after you've asked yourself that, who can help you get there, right? What are the people in your life that you need to start hanging out with more, okay? And then the third question, ask yourself, who makes you feel awesome? Like, who makes you feel like really, really good and that you enjoy being around as well? Start listing those people, right? I'm not talking about the people that when maybe they give you a little bit of attention, you feel good, yet you feel really bad 90% of the other time because they ignore you. No, I'm talking about people who, majority of the time, obviously no one can be there for someone 100% of the time, but those people who make you feel awesome majority of the time. And then the fourth one, kind of going back to what I just said, but who doesn't make you feel awesome? Who like really makes you feel like you're chasing them, or you feel like you're a chore by like having to give your energy to them? And maybe, you know, people like your family, it's going to be a bit more challenging, right? But friends in your life, how can you start removing some of those people? And again, you can't give yourself fully to those you really care about unless you save your energy. So this is really, it's actually selfish if you don't do this, in my opinion, right? It may be selfish, you think, oh, I'm cutting people out. Actually, it's selfish not to, because you're not allowing yourself to be your greatest by giving yourself energy, so you can't be your best for those who really matter in your life. Okay, I've got a final point for you as well. Just want to mention, though, that if you want to connect me more on social media, you can find my links in the show notes below. The final point I'm going to share with you is develop a really strong relationship with yourself and make sure that's a priority. There's a lot of good resources out there on things like YouTube and everything. And the beauty is that there's more resources and information than ever, right, out there. So if you develop a relationship with yourself, it's less likely that you're externally going to start trying to validate how good you are, how great you are. And that's what I've certainly found in the past. I remember just like chasing girls in my early 20s and things like that, just like, please, I want to feel good about myself, all that kind of thing. No, actually, I needed to do the work on myself now. If someone like doesn't message me back now, you're gone, right? Like, so it's really important to start prioritizing your relationship with yourself right now, because then you're going to allow more high quality people that you want to come into your life to come into your life. I think this is a really important topic because I often see as human beings from a young age, I found that I've been like conditioned to think a certain way, try to get approval. You know, there's lots of studies and science around it, like saying, you know, we're dependent on our parents, our guardians, and then we have to meet certain conditions to at a certain point in our life, right? And depending through your experiences, you may be more dependent on others than some other people. So it's really important because we can't be on our own, right? We don't want to be on our own all the time. Yeah. And I'm not just, you know, talking intimate relationship. I'm talking about like friends and family. Yet you do want to be giving your energy and getting energy from the right type of people in your life. And it's really important mentally, I found. So that's what I got for you today. I appreciate you for being here. And remember to leave with your heart and not with fear.